relationships are not working out. Like after 2 months or 3 months, you can say like they just get split up and become enemy of each other.
I mean, not necessarily.
You're the right person to speak on this, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm married. All right, how are you doing today?
Very well. Nothing much actually, but the thing, like I started reading new books, self-help books. So it's going good. Yep, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been well as well. But I know that last time we met, we were having connection issues. So tell me a bit about yourself and why improve your.
Okay, ma'am. Well, I'm a student right now, so currently pursuing BTech final year. So actually, I'm just on the verge of completing this year, final year. And on top of that, like I've been doing other kind of things, like part-time. I've been into the teaching profession. Yep, ma'am. Just to be independent, free, like especially financially free. And of course, like I have been into communication, especially just to make an effective communication, because communication is very important. It defines your qualities, it defines your mindset, and it's a very indispensable task to make a very good communication with anyone. And I believe that making conversation with the native speaker is the best if you want to learn that language.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's a few things you miss out on when you speak to non-native speakers. But awesome. And you said that you're currently a student in your final year. What are you studying?
I'm Bachelor of Engineering. Engineering. Yep. By electrical branch, electrical engineering.
Oh, awesome. That is.
Truthfully speaking, I haven't been into my academic things. Like, I feel that education system is a futile. That's the reason. for me, ma'am.
Why is that?
Very simple, ma'am, because the things that I've been reading and just learning, that's kind of thing that's not working in my real life. That's a different thing. I don't know where I'm gonna use that kind of things like Newton laws and this stuff. So sometimes I used to feel that it's worthless. So that's the reason. I might be wrong on your side, but this is what I believe.
No, I mean, I think that's a valid. Like for me, it's a partially valid and partially not. Like I have 2 degrees. My first degree, I don't use at all. It's environmental. It was purely it was what I am passionate about, but I don't use it in my day-to-day. My current degree, economics, I do use that. But still there are things that don't work. So I read self-help books too. They're awesome. And I feel like those are more applicable to daily life.
Exactly, ma'am. Definitely. I'm agree on this.
Yeah, cool.
So would you like to have the topic, ma'am? I already have fixed, like made up my mind for one topic. Would you like to go with that? Yeah. So the topic is, ma'am, what do you think, like who of the success is over possessed in the relationship, or being over possessive in the relationship? Relationship means like girlfriend and boyfriend.
Ooh, that's a hard question.
You are in the juvenile phase, like being young. So you're the right person to speak on this, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm married, but
I see. But still, ma'am, please.
But I think that it really depends on the person, because I think that both men and women can be overly possessive. And I've known many people in my life that are overly possessive simply as friends. So to imagine them in a relationship with somebody else just would blow my mind. But I think that a lot of possessiveness that comes from a relationship comes from insecurities, where maybe you keep a hold of a person strongly because you're afraid that they might do something that you don't agree with. Or there's like the narcissistic traits. There's the what's it called? It's called the God complex. So if somebody has that, they think that they're this overarching power that, nobody should do anything that goes against what they say. And I've typically seen that characteristic in men. But that's not to say that women can't have it. But what's your take on it?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, ma'am, actually, the things that I've been observing and felt, uh, means from both sides, but they are representing or they are showing in the different way. When we talk about the boys, like or the males, they just try to be dominant on girls, like on their girlfriends or anyone,
Mm-hmm.
by just in a violent way, you can say as well, like just trying to raise their voice, trying to beat them, maybe some kind of things I have been observing around my ambience. That's why I said to you, when we talk about the girls or females, they are being more suspicious about the things.
That
They,
guys are more suspicious of girls or the other way?
girls are more suspicious for the
Okay.
boys. Yeah, yeah. So there is only one thing that binds the relationship is nothing but trust. Ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start suspecting the other guy, okay, and when you start tracking or looking after the guy from morning to night, looking after me, okay, let me. So you know what I'm saying, ma'am. So the things become really worse after that, because when you do kind of things, that shows that relationship is not having that good strength, like
Mm-hmm.
that strong bond, and the things get exaggerated, and because of which a lot of misunderstandings comes. So I feel that, like, it depends actually, ma'am. Definitely you said it right, that it's up to the person. But when you come in the relationship, it's not easier said than done, because once you have the relation, you start wondering about the person,
Mm-hmm.
because love and affection is very important. So you start taking your mind into that person, and after, like, when you become over possessive about the other guy, the things never work out.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. um, I think also, oh, there was a point that I was going to make.
please,
What was I going to say? It'll come back to me. But
okay.
oh, no, I got it. So
Uh,
two things. So there's also a cultural not bias, but there's a cultural influence in I'm speaking specifically about heterosexual relationships, not about homosexual relationships, just for the
exactly.
sake of the conversation. um but in heterosexual relationships, it depends a lot culturally on like how the men treat the women and vice versa. I won't single any culture out, but I mean, there are some that I think a lot of people are familiar with, that the men have a say in everything that the woman does, what they can and cannot do, how they lead their lives, if they can have careers, or if that career is acceptable. So that's more of a career related possessiveness. But then it's also the fact that, like, well, you can't have male friends if you're a woman, and that's another sign of being possessive. But then it also, what, like a couple decades ago, it was a lot different than it is now. And I'll say specifically in the United States, where men were always the more dominant in the relationships.
Exactly.
And it's definitely changed over time. And I think that, in my opinion, a lot of that newfound freedom for women has come from being able to go to college, not being expected to have a family immediately. Like by my age, my mom had already had a child, and I'm not
Uh-huh.
doing that. So it's just this generational gap. But then also, women are, I mean, people aren't getting married as much. People are focusing on their careers. So that leaves, a lot less people to be controlled in a way.
So all in all, if I have to ask you, ma'am, what do you believe? Like, being in the relationship in the younger age is good or not? All in
I think
all.
it's great as long as you're with the right or with a good person, because you may not find the right person at a young age. But it's good to be in a relationship and figure out what you like and what you don't like. How you like to be treated, what you expect of somebody, and typically what other people expect of you. Um, I don't think anything is inherently bad with relationships, but always, if you are in a bad one, you should get out of it.
Exactly, exactly. But today's, ma'am, I feel that, like, people come into relation because of their own benefits, just kind of fulfilling some kind of needs or something, having wrong intentions. Exactly. And because
Like,
of which, like,
mhm.
generally, relationships are not working out, you know. After
Yeah,
like after 2 months or 3 months, you can say like they just get split up, and uh, after that they become enemy of each other.
I mean, not necessarily. It also depends. Like, I think that people
Generally,
have
ma'am, generally.
yeah, but I also think like I would agree with you that people are jumping into relationships now. Um, but I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a bad thing unless if they're doing it for completely selfish reasons like monetary benefit, for example,
Exactly.
because I've had a lot of no, I won't say friends. I've known a lot of girls in the States that will go on dates with guys just because they'll buy the dinner so she doesn't have to pay to go out and then she won't call them. So it's I don't agree with that. I think that that's awful. That's using somebody. You should never do that. You should pay your way as long as the other party's comfortable with that too. But being in a relationship for 2 or 3 months isn't bad. It's better than, it's better to get out in 3 months of the relationship when you're not happy as opposed to staying for a year and discovering that, oh my gosh, I've just wasted 12 months.
Exactly, ma'am. I couldn't agree more. You know, I'm with you because people, like all the guys are being are just chasing for the healthy relationship or for the perfect relationship. But you know, perfection never comes in any
Mhm.
relationship. Actually, like it has to work from both the side. You know, they have to sacrifice and they have to understand the weakness and try to fulfill the other's weakness. This is called the
Mhm.
relationship. You know, and
Yeah,
we are the
absolutely.
humans. Like we are being designed, we are being created in a way, in an imperfect way, so we should be embracing these kind of things, and we, you know, just trying to understand the partner and just acknowledge their weakness or kind of what they can do for you, and you know, just being in the having the good intentions as well as trying to help the other one or the other partner is something that binds you, that makes the
Mhm.
relationship good, I believe, or healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to work together. The best way I can put it is like, think about it as teamwork. Even though it's a team of two, it's teamwork nonetheless. Like if you're in college and you're I don't know what you're doing, you're designing something for your engineering class and you have 5 people. Well, if 3 of them aren't doing anything, then it makes the work so much harder for the others in the group. And that's the same thing in a two-person relationship.
Exactly, ma'am. You said
Our
it right,
time
actually.
Our time's
Okay.
almost up, but thank you for bringing that topic. It was a great conversation topic. So good
Me too,
choice.
ma'am. And you have really said very well points and acknowledge your points, ma'am. And
Thank
thank you
you.
so much for
Yeah,
being here.
thank you. I look
Thank you,
forward
ma'am.
to seeing you.